Welcome to Steve Draws. I'm Steve van der Groot, a Dutch illustrator and animator, and in this tutorial we're going to learn how to draw a cartoon dog in 5 steps. The only thing you need is a pencil and a piece of paper. Let's start drawing. Step 1. The action line. Today we're going to draw a dog, and I chose a Wienerdog or a dachshund. The dachshund has a very nice shape and it looks like a wiener or like a sausage. So we're first going to draw the action line, and the dog is standing on both feet, so it's a very long line, and it starts here and it ends up here. So this is the action line. Step 2. The basic shapes. Now we're going to add the big shapes, and the biggest shape of the Wienerdog is his body, and it looks a bit like a sausage, but we're going to draw it in perspective. So here we're going to draw the chest, and because it's in perspective, his back end or his behind is a little bit smaller, so we're going to draw it here, and it's a smaller circle, and we're going to draw a bit of a sausage. So you already have the biggest shape of the Wienerdog, and we're going to draw his head up here, and we're going to join that. This is his neck, and dachshund or Wienerdog has very small feet, so we're going to just draw it here, and this is the other leg. And what I always do is draw some perspective lines, because his back legs has to stand on the same line, otherwise he is floating. So this is his back leg, and this behind leg you don't see because it falls behind his belly. And of course you have his little funky tail. Step 3. The guidelines. What I always do is draw a guideline in his face, and this Wienerdog is looking to the right, so we're going to make a globe out of this circle, so we can place his eyes later and draw other things as well. A Wienerdog has a very narrow snout, so we're going to draw the basic shape of that here, and here's going to be his nose, and he has a little bit of a cheek on the left side. The right side you don't see because it falls behind the snout, and of course he has very long ears, so this is his front ear, and we're going to draw some guides, and don't do it straight but a little bit more in a circle, and we can draw his other ear just behind his snout. Step 4. Adding details. And we're going to add the details, and I'll start off with drawing his eyes. That's just a circle, and you can place it on top of his cheek, and just going to draw this snout toward this guideline, and behind it falls his other eye, and it looks a bit awkward or angry, so we're going to squint this eye. You can do that by drawing in an eyebrow like this, and this is just, he's just looking a bit, surprised or irritated, and we can draw in the pupils and leave a little bit of white on top of the pupil, and I'm going to draw the other pupil as well, And this is a bit of a round shape, but when you take a close look at a Wienerdog, he has a bit of a structure in his skull. And we're going to follow the line of his eyes and make a different kind of shape. He's not laughing, so we're going to draw him a bit angry. So just draw his lip a little bit down. And maybe it's fun to draw in some thing you can color in later. It's just a pattern on his nose. So this is going to be darker and this is going to be lighter. His nose is going to be darker as well, but only leave the top white. And the same with his ears, going to be very dark, so now you can sketch it in, and when you do the final rendering you can even black it out with a pencil or a Sharpie. And here is going to do as well. Then we're going to do the rest of the body, and we just need to add some details to his legs. And he has little toes, and you just can draw it with tiny strokes, and a little fold in his behind leg. And I'm gonna finish the front leg as well. And maybe it's fun, if you want to color it, to leave his paws white and color in the rest with the darker color. I'm going to draw behind legs, and we're going to draw a little bit of a white part up here. I'm going to add some more structure because they have a very big chest in front of them, and we can just draw a tiny indication of a lighter part on his belly and his chest. And this is a Wienerdog with short hair, so we're not going to draw indications of fur, because he's a very smooth dog. And I'm going to color the tail black. Step 5, the final rendering. So we're now going to do the inking of the Wienerdog, and it's nice to have this sketch so you can ink it much better, because everything is already in place and you're just going to define the final lines of your drawing. Just going to leave some white on top of his pupil. That makes him more alive. And his snout, and this is going to be a white part. We're just going to block out his ears because these are in front. Color them in black. And when you work on paper, if you've done with inking your character, you can always erase the sketch lines underneath. It's the pattern on his snout, and just going to draw his nose and maybe do a little fun thing with it. Draw it within the shape of his nose with little strokes. I'm going to draw the hind lip, and the back ear. And if you draw big shapes, never draw from your wrist, but use your whole arm, because you have much better control if you use your whole arm to draw a big shape. So I'm going to start here and just do it in one go. You need a lot of practice to do this right, but you know, practice makes perfect. And we're just going to color in his tail and just finishing the final lines of the character. Give it a little bit of fur on his paws, and the same with this shape. This goes all the way down here, but you know, you can't draw it because his leg is in front of it, so we just have to stop here and then finish it up here. And sometimes you just can add some more lines to it to give it more depth, so thick and thin. And you can just draw the fur with smaller strokes. You know, his light belly and his paws, his nose on his paws, and a little bit of a fur here, his back paw. And this is how you draw a Wienerdog in 5 steps. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. In that way you won't miss a single video. Drawing is fun and practice makes perfect. See you next time. Doodles!